PGA on PrizePicks explain. First of all, you need to learn how to do your research, right? If you don't know golf, even if you do know golf, learn to do your research. Learn to go on to ESPN app and check the weather out. Make that second nature. Checking out the weather in golf. The weather in golf is literally, the wind and the weather in golf is literally like 35 to 40% of if you're going to get a green line or not. You know, and sometimes the percentage is higher than that. That's just my guesstimation. Okay, get that out the way. You need to check the weather. So if they're playing if they're playing at East Lake in Atlanta, you need to check what the Atlanta weather is like today if you don't live in Georgia. It's real easy. It's just a Google away. So now you know what 30 to 35% where your green line is going to come from already just by Googling the weather. So where are we going to get the other 65% from? Let the guys play Thursday is one way. See who coming out. Pay attention to, see who coming out swinging, who coming out, you know what I'm saying, hitting their greens in regulation, you know. And greens in regulation, see, I need to learn how to break. I'm one of the people who talk and I ended up going all over the place. But just bear with me. It's a video and it's educational. It's gonna help you win in golf. Green in regulations means if, say hole one is a par 4. That means, to somebody who don't understand golf, that means that the distance for that the tee off where he first swings the club, the driver, and hits the ball just off the tee, that's called a drive. His first drive of that hole one, which is a par 4, we're going to say it's a par 4. It could be anything. It could be a par 3, a par 4, or a par 5. You know what I'm saying? So his first swing off the club, the distance from the tee to the flag where the hole is at a specific distance to where the average golfer would get there, make the shot in four swings of the club. He originally hits. Hopefully he gets on the green. Then he hits again. And his second hit, if his first shot was good enough on a par 4, his second shot that he takes could potentially land on the green that the actual hole is on. Therefore, leaving him for a birdie setup. A bogey takes a point away. A birdie gives you a point. A par keeps you even. That's why you hear some people, you ever heard of a term says he's shooting even par today. You know, because a par is not where you want to be. You want to be under for the day. But depending on the course and how it's laying that day and your competitors, I mean, shooting even par is not that bad, you know. But, so we're talking about hole one. It's a par 4. So he needs to get there. He needs to make it in the hole with no more than 4 swings. He starts to gain points. Anything less than 4 swings. Now, I've seen somebody make a par 4 in 2 swings. I've seen somebody make a par 4 in 1 swing. That's called a hole in one. Hence the term. So on the par 4, if he gets there and it takes him 5 shots to make it, he just shot a bogey. He loses a point. He's +1 for the day. That means he's going to shoot. He's on pace. If he shoots even for the rest of the day, he's on pace to go over. Now he's on pace. If we said it was a par 71 course, now he's on pace to shoot a 72. That doesn't mean that for the rest of the game, he can only shoot a 72 or more. He's just gonna have to earn that. He's gonna have to earn that bogey back. And how do you earn a bogey back? Even though a par is one above a bogey, that doesn't earn the point back. That just keeps you even, remember? You need a birdie to earn that point back, right? Okay, so now that we got that out the way, some players, they're par players. I'm just gonna keep it real. Some players, they're par players. Some players, they're like, you know, like some players, they're role players. And some players are stars. You know what I'm saying? And some star players could play like role players sometimes. In basketball terms, Rory McIlroy, in basketball terms, he was just the greatest player in the league. But I could compare him to James Harden because he had some fall off times where he was the best. Then all of a sudden he's playing subpar. Hence the term. You know what I'm saying? So, but he's still a great player. So catching Rory McIlroy at 70 and a half on a par 71 course, you telling me that somebody who was the greatest golfer for a year or two, some would say more, some would say less, some would say a year or two. You telling me that one of the top players, ranking players, you telling me he can't shoot a average game? Yes, he can. And what makes him a star is that more times than not, he does shoot a above average game. You know? If he's playing on a par 71 course, I've seen Rory shoot a 63. You know? So with PGA on PrizePicks, you have to remember that you're taking the under means he's going to have a good game. If you're taking the over, you're expecting him to have a bad game. Another secret tip to playing PGA on PrizePicks is, I can use an example. Yesterday, Wyndham Clark just won. And I don't remember what his score was, but out of 4 days, he was like 21 under, something like that. I don't remember. I didn't go back and look. I usually know this, but back 9, Adam Scott pissed me off. So I didn't really pay attention after that. And so he's been shooting great. He came into the day 16 under. So that's on average, he's hitting 5 under. He's hitting 5 under on average for the first 3 days on a par 71 course. So that means he's averaging shooting the 66. He's shooting the 66 for 3 days. He's averaging this. They had him at a 70, the leader of the leaderboard, the #1 ranking guy on the leaderboard over a span of 3 days. On the last day, they had him at a 70.5 on a par 71 course. You know why? Because just because he had a great 3 days doesn't mean he's going to come out and have a great last day. His chances of him having a great last day is still higher than him having a bad day. But golf, it depends. You know, you can play great 3 days. And for example, Patrick Cantley, I took him under 69 and a half. I took him under 69 and a half Saturday, day 3. He had some okay days. You know, he was like, if I'm not mistaken, like 8 under. He was like 8 under over the span of the first 3 days. So that's like, on averaging 2 under, 3 under. I just needed him to average 2 under because he's at a 69.5. I took the under on him. I needed him to do what he's been doing. Day 3. I just needed him to be 2 under. That means he swung the club on average 3.5 times less. And you can't half swing a club, but you know how the analytics work. He swung the club in the first 2 days 3.5 times less than what he needed to break even. And so they had him at 69.5 on a par 71 course. I took him under. I needed him to have a 69 or below. That means I needed him to swing the club 2 times or less. You know what I'm saying? Maybe 3 times less than average. 2 times less than average would have got it, though. Okay. With that being said, he shot a 71. He shot even for the day. That means we're going to say 4 birdies, 10 pars, and 4 bogeys. He broke even for the day. Because pars break you even. So nothing matters except the bogeys, the birdies, and the eagles, which the eagles count as 2. Birdies put you up 1. Eagles put you up 2. Day 3, Patrick Cantley screws me over. He misses. He swung the club 2 more times than what he needed. Out of 71 swings, I just needed him to swing 69 times. If that makes, I needed him to make it in. I needed him to make 18 holes in 69 swings or less. That's day 3. So day 4, I'm like, oh, Patrick Cantley ain't doing that, man. He just got me. So you can't do that. Because guess what he did the next day? After shooting a 71 on a 71 par course, and they had him at 69.5, they had him at 69.5 again, and he shot a 67. So that makes 3 days that he went under. And the 1 day that I took him under, he went over. So you can't hold grudges. That's another lesson. You cannot hold grudges. You got to go with the data. If he screws you over 2 days out of the first 2 days, and you want to bet on him on the 3rd day, he's probably going to screw you over. He's probably cut. After the first 2 days, he's probably cut. Because in golf, you get cut. You don't have a certain amount. You know, so if a golfer screws you over 2 days in a row, he's probably cut. So it doesn't even matter. Another reason why you shouldn't hold grudges on golf when they don't perform the way you expected them to perform is because on day 3 and day 4, if he makes it, every time he screws you over on the hole, he's screwing his own money up. Because golf is played off of purses. So if you're winning $3 million for prize 1, for number 1, and 60,000 for 15th place par, he's at a 68, and you just need him to shoot 1 more time and par, but he bogeys, which means he took an extra shot, which means he shot a 70 in the 69.5, and you just lost by 0.5. He's probably going to lose that $60,000. He's probably going to lose like $25,000 by missing that shot. So golf players, not saying they don't never throw the game or nothing, because I don't trust really 100% no player of no sport, but like he's costing himself money. Let's just say that. Every time he screwed you over, just like in the game where you need LeBron to make 2 free throws, nothing's going to change about LeBron missing both free throws except maybe you losing. Maybe them losing the game too, but you know, he probably still got a full game to go or a full quarter to go or whatever. You know, they might be winning. You know what I'm saying? He gonna make his $1 million a game anyway. See what I'm saying? Only person that's really gonna lose is you. The only person that got a high chance of losing if he misses the free throws is you. On golf, he misses free throws, hypothetically speaking. He misses free throws, we both lose. So I like that. So another thing about how to win on PGA, we covered. You gotta check the weather. You need to do your extensive background check and see what this player has been doing over the span of a few weeks. I say the last 3 weeks. Golf players could be cold. Jordan Spieth, I thought he was the next who? Arnold Palmer. You couldn't have told me he wasn't going to be better than them. I thought he was the next Tiger. Jordan Spieth went 2 years and played subpar after going crazy. He's just now getting back to Jordan Spieth, you know. And in golf, you got to remember it's old guys playing too, like Matt Kuchar. You know, I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan. Matt Kuchar went to Tech, but he's still my guy. Matt Kuchar can go out on a par 71 at 50-something years old on a par 71 and shoot 67. You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, he could go out and shoot a 72. You know, you got to know your players. Xander Schauffele is one of my favorite young players. He won East Lake a few years ago. Xander Schauffele, yesterday, he had it sold up. You know what I'm saying? I had him 69.5 under. So I needed him to swing the club 69 times. The hole 18 was a par 4. So he goes into hole 18 with a 65. So if he just shoots a par, we home safe. You know what I'm saying? He's 2 under for the day. You can go check these stats. He shoots a bogey on 18. Red line by 0.5, by 1 swing of the club. You know, so they're betting on golf for a reason. PrizePicks lets you bet on golf for a reason. It's just like any other sport. They can win, they can lose. But golf, I'm just pointing out to why. Only thing I need to prove to you that golf is one of the best sports to play, like win to loss ratio wise, is because a 4-pick power is not worth 10x. They do not pay that out for golf. A 4-pick power, they're going to pay out 7, no more than 8x. 7x most of the time. Do your research. And why would they pay out less for 4-pick power than all the other sports? Because your chances of hitting is higher.